Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me for this tarot read. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll let you guys know too, this is going to be a general read, so it may or may not resonate with you. That's just fine, guys. You might even find that sort of bits and pieces speak to you. Take whatever messages feel right. Those are going to be the ones that are meant for you. Also, we are going to draw a tarot token at the end of this read, so that's going to be like our energy card. Let's see. Clean it up. So somebody's definitely having to do some emotional cleaning house, some purging. I think it's going to help with healing, and I do feel a transitional time as well. It's like this is an opportunity to sort of shake loose things that are no longer serving us. And this might be sort of old emotions too. Old emotions. Oh, I have this distinct impression that we're going to be talking about two energies. And I do believe like this loyal heart, I don't know that these two people are talking right now because I feel like a certain level of separation here. And I do feel like somebody tried to like give somebody advice, somebody tried to warn somebody. It was like watching somebody sort of heading towards a tower, heading towards some sort of disaster, heading towards trouble. And it was like a trying to warn them, like, if you want this positive result, you need to be careful about what you're doing. You need to watch something, because in this serendipity card, I see that somebody feels like they've had a string of bad luck. This is what it feels like. I do believe this is the person who was warned by a loyal heart. And so it's not really bad luck. I feel like the person who warned them like saw this coming and was like, if you're going to make these choices, this is what's going to start happening in your life. This is what you're going to start seeing. I feel like that person, that loyal heart, was a blessing in their life. I don't feel like it was appreciated. I don't feel like the advice was appreciated, or I don't feel like it was necessarily wanted either. I don't feel like anybody wanted to hear it. But it was someone who definitely deeply cared about them. I also feel that this is somebody who is open on some level to this person coming back and apologizing. Like if this person found perspective, it could find some way to make amends. I don't know that this is like romantic and starting again. This might just be sort of that sort of that level of acknowledgement that helps somebody to forgive and to move on as well, because I do feel like somebody is looking to clean house emotionally, is looking to find some sort of peace of mind. I feel like an apology would definitely help. But it's like somebody who needs to be able to see for themselves. It's like they had to learn the hard way. They were so unflexible in their way of thinking. They were rigid in their way of thinking. They wouldn't listen to this advice that was given. And they just sort of like charged ahead. They charged ahead, and I do believe that they're charging towards whatever somebody warned them. So like somebody predicted this. Somebody predicted this, whatever the serendipity card represents, because someone feels like it's bad luck, but it's not bad luck. It's like what they were actually warned about. So if you keep going this way, this is what's going to happen. And that is exactly what's happening. That's what this truth be told card is all about. Like somebody saw it coming. Somebody saw it coming, and they cared enough to try to warn them. To try and warn them to change their ways, to change their direction, so that they wouldn't have this heartache that they're currently going through. Do you have happy, happy, and exchanging gifts? And I'll tell you what I see in these cards, and this may not ring true for all of you. So whatever this is, I do see there is a potential for mending. There is a potential for healing. If somebody does see exactly what's going on here, if that person finds that insight and comes back to try and make peace, to make amends, and be like, okay, you know what, you were right. I should have just listened to you to begin with. I could have avoided this whole thing. I feel like there's an opportunity for someone to let go, wipe the slate clean, and forgive and reach out. That's why we're getting like this community, this loyal heart. We're getting exchanging gifts. There's like the possibility here for these two energies, whoever they are, to be able to come back and make peace. So we do have no place like home as well. So we might be talking about a family connection here or something in the home life. The home life could have been what this person was warned about too, and that it's like if you don't change your ways, you're going to wind up with a different situation, or whatever your home life situation is, sort of coming to an end or winding up in some sort of chaos. Then not for you to, okay, so as I see now, whatever this person went to, whatever this I don't know, tower, this run of bad luck, whatever this thing is. It's like this had to happen for this person. This was actually part of their journey. So yes, somebody warned them, somebody tried to sort of save them the heartache, but this was actually part of their universal path. This was a lesson that they had to learn. There's some deep value in what happened here. And also beyond that, because I feel like there's lessons within that situation that they lived, that they had to learn. But beyond that, it's this caring connection. That is one of the lessons they had to learn too. And recognizing when somebody is giving advice that they may not want to hear, but where it's coming from love. It's coming from somebody who's possibly been through something similar and can kind of see an outcome, and being able to step back out of their ego, out of their pride, and to accept advice that's given, and in the intention that it is given to. I feel like this is something that had to play out in its own time. So even though someone, like I said, even though someone tried to warn somebody and help them to avoid it, is like this needed to happen. This was part of their growing journey. And the fates are involved in all this. We do have building blocks. And again, that's what I feel. It's like this was part of somebody's journey in building themselves up personally, spiritually, probably mentally and emotionally as well. And it's just part of them growing and moving forward as a person. So as uncomfortable as it is, it was actually extremely necessary. It's a chance for them to start fresh too, to gain a new perspective, to start a new life. We do have regeneration. I do feel like this relationship has the potential to sort of start again or start fresh too, if this person can come back and apologize. And that's what the Here and Now card is all about too. It's about sort of letting go of the past, not worrying about the future, being able to live in the now. I do feel like there's definitely, like I said, there's that potential for whatever this is. And this might be a family connection or a friend connection. Sure, it could be romance too. But there's that possibility to be able to wipe the slate clean and to have some sort of forgiveness and fresh start here. We're going to grab some of the Gilded Tarot to dig deeper into what's going on here. Communication, 8 of Wands. Whoever this is who's going through this, there's going to be a reaching out. There's going to be a communication soon. And that's why I was already feeling in the Oracle cards that there is a good chance of somebody reaching out and recognizing that, hey, I wish I would have listened to you. I see now you were just trying to give me advice. I see now you were just trying to help me. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry I took it so wrong. I'm sorry it went to shit. I'm sorry we argued or whatever it was. Especially in the exchanging gifts and the happy card, I feel like that's definitely where I was starting to feel that mending. That 8 of Wands just confirms it for me, that this person is going to want to reach out and start fresh. This person is going to want to bring healing. And I do feel that they're coming into a time of maturity. So this is not an overnight change, but I do feel like this person is actively working at sort of coming into their Emperor energy. So coming into their most successful energy. And you don't do that overnight. You got to go through shit. You have to learn life lessons. And that's part of what happened here. And that's why it was so important that it took place, is this person would not be able to move on to the next step of coming into their Emperor energy without learning this life lesson, learning that they shouldn't take caring connections and advice for granted. I do feel like they're going to put a lot more weight into what other people say from now on. And not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, not like letting other people tell them how to live their lives. But when they hear constructive criticism, when they hear somebody close to them expressing worry, concern about something that they're going through, being able to sort of step back and take it in. And thinking about, okay, is this something that I should be thinking about? And whatever adventure they were on, I do believe the Ace of Wands represents that. It was some sort of a passion or a want that they were following. I do believe it's come to an end. In some way, shape, or form, that door has closed for them. And it closed in a way that made them see that the other person was trying to give them that advice. Because I believe that is what they were warned about. It was like, this is not going to work out. Chances are it's going to go down exactly like this. This is how you're going to feel. And I feel like all of that came true. Like this person was almost like psychic in their predictions. How they warned somebody that they loved, exactly what they were headed towards. And I feel like they're going to come back. There's going to be this mending. There's going to be this 10 of Cups. We're going to find sort of like a new level of like abundance and harmony in this relationship. The Knight of Cups is all about an emotional victory too, and I do believe it's the connection that these two people have. It's this partnership, whether this is family, whether this is sort of romantic or friends. And this Hierophant is also representing like that person who's giving advice, that person like a mentor. They're going to look at them in a new way. They're going to look at this relationship, this partnership that they have, whatever it is, in a new way, and really not taking this person for granted anymore, not taking their advice lightly, being able to give weight to it, and then to sort of like mull it over, right? Because it may or may not work for them, but they're not going to immediately dismiss anything anymore. They're going to take it in, they're going to sit back, and they're going to decide, is this for me? Should I follow this advice in moving forward? In this Chariot card, I feel personal growth. Like this person leaps and bounds after this stuff happened. This is like leaps and bounds on their journey forward. And again, just like not for you, that Ten of Swords pops up. I like whatever this is that came to an end, this was like the best thing that could have happened for this person, because this is part of the next step in them moving forward and coming into their own Emperor energy. The Five of Pentacles can feel like being left out in the cold, and I do feel like this is part of what came to an end. This was like a housing situation. This could have been a career or a job. I do feel like they were sort of out in the cold, so to speak. When all of this came to an end, they had like nowhere to go. It was, like I said, it felt like a run of bad luck. Even though that's not what it was. It was sort of like the choices that they made put them on a path where this was going to be the most likely outcome, and somebody saw it and tried to warn them. To them, it just kept feeling like a run of bad luck, and then it just went to shit. And then they step back. I do believe they're going to be stepping back into this relationship that they have with this person, coming back, making amends, finding value, learning life lessons. That Eight of Pentacles is the Apprentice card. This person's going to find balance in this new chapter of their life. They're not going to be sort of running around in this like immature energy, letting their emotions sort of guide them. Logic is going to come into it a lot more. They're going to think about what they do a lot more. There's a lot of maturity coming in this new chapter. And this thing that did come to an end is represented by the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is like a heartbreak. I do feel like it's weighed heavy on them. I also feel a duality in the Three of Swords, because not only does it represent heartbreak, it can represent separation, and separation with the chance of reconciliation. I do feel like what also weighs heavy on them is the way that they sort of parted ways with whoever tried to give them advice, because I was feeling that in the beginning, that there was like this separation. I don't know if they weren't talking anymore, but definitely like a wedge in between these two people, and that weighed heavy on them too, how things got left. And it's going to be important for them to make it right, because they're going to need that extra support while they're rebuilding too, and while they're growing in this new chapter of their life. I do feel like that Ace of Swords is representing like truth, personal truth. So when they come back to communicate, to make amends, they're going to be speaking some pretty honest personal truth, some pretty mature truth is what I feel in the cards. Like somebody's going to be surprised at the level of maturity that this person comes back with and what they're saying. They found a lot of clarity in this situation. Like I said, it had to happen for this person to be able to mature, to find sort of this new sense of balance, and to allow logic to play more of a part in their life instead of sort of being run by emotions. Like this Knight of Wands, when this Knight of Wands speaks to a person, he can speak of somebody who can act rashly or without thinking, and I do feel like that was part of it. That's why we had this Ace of Wands and what this person was chasing. They were chasing a passion. They weren't thinking something through. And it is what they were warned about. I just keep getting that. Yeah, and that makes sense too with that High Priestess coming there. As like, this person was warned that all of these things were going to happen and the way it was going to play out. It was like almost psychic the way that somebody warned them exactly what was going to happen, and it completely came true. Somebody predicted it as if they could look into the future and see exactly what was coming. And I do feel like that's part of what they're going to tell them too when they come back to apologize. They're going to be like, how did you know? How did you know it was all going to happen like that? Like you predicted it. It came out just the way that you thought it was. I do believe that there's going to be a level of forgiveness, a level of moving on in this relationship, you know, like sort of letting go of the past once there's amends made. Nobody's going to come back to sort of revisit it. It's going to be like this understanding that, okay, now we're at this new point. Now I respect more of what you say. I respect your sort of like your level of understanding of the universe experience, your life experience, and I respect your advice, and I will be respecting it more in the future too. And nobody's going to feel the need to revisit it. I feel that's where that happy card comes in. That's why we're getting a lot of cards with balance, a lot of cards with blessed, with happiness, with building blocks for the future. It's like the new chapter is going to bring a lot of positivity into someone's life. And that's exactly what I was feeling before I even pulled the Three of Wands, leaving the past in the past and just moving forward. Once amends is made, nobody's going to have hard feelings. It's just time to move on, to learn one's lesson. I do have that judgment card there. She is about karma. And I feel like this person is going to have sort of a new understanding in life and like changing their karma, moving forward, earning good karma in their life. This is what's waiting for them in this new chapter. And that's why I was feeling in all these other cards in this maturing that's coming. This new chapter for this person is going to be all about the Six of Pentacles. Abundance and balance. This person is going to bring abundance and balance into their life with this good karma that they're going to be earning. And just moving forward with maturity, being less rash, not allowing passions to lead them, using logic more. The only thing that can hold this person back from success in life is themselves. That's why we have the Hanging Man here. This person they're not stupid. Like whoever this is, they were just like, I feel like young energy, like an immature energy, an inexperienced energy. These were just life lessons this person had to learn. And it's part of the groundwork for them to build an abundant harvest, for them to come into this Six of Pentacles, this Nine of Cups, having this happiness and abundance in their life. These are important lessons that they need to learn. And they will look back in the future on their past, and they're going to see that everything happens for a reason. They're actually going to be glad that all of this played out the way it did, because they're going to be able to see that all of it was those building blocks for a new abundant future. This Queen of Cups, to me, she is representative of the person who cares for them, of the person who is trying to give them the advice, that person who is like solid no matter what. So even though all this shit went down, there is probably a good argument. I don't know if hurtful things got said, because this person was very much weighed down by the way things were left too. But it's like that Queen of Cups is still there. When this person learned their lesson, when they're ready to come back and make amends and apologize, it's like this Queen of Cups is still there to help them and support them in this growing process in their life. They are going to appreciate that. They're going to appreciate that this person is there for them no matter what. Even though they had this big argument in the past, it's not going to hold them back from finding success in the future, because this person is like a steady Eddie. So even though they might not be talking at the moment, or things might be quiet, that person still cares. There's still that deep connection of caring. And when the timing is right, and people are ready to come back in sort of that respectful way and rebuild in a healthy, caring way, that connection is open to them. That connection is open to them. I do feel like it all happened for a reason. All the fighting, everything that happened, this person might feel like it was not fair at the time. Whatever she told them, the advice that this Queen of Cups gave them, I do feel like I said, their ego, I said earlier, their ego and their pride got in the way. They felt like somebody was maybe being unfair, didn't understand them. But she did have a level of understanding that this person just was too immature, inexperienced to see at the time. They had to find it out for themselves. The World card is a beautiful card in this read. It represents like positive things coming to you from the universe. They're gifts, but they're not luck. It's not out of the blue. These are ones that you have to earn. This is their Six of Pentacles, their Nine of Cups, their Seven of Pentacles, their abundant harvest, their happiness, emotional abundance. This beautiful new chapter that their life is going to bring. It's a reward for learning their life lesson. Because let's face it, guys, we all know somebody who doesn't learn that life lesson and who never gets to have that abundant harvest, because they just kind of they won't figure it out. They won't seem to learn it, or they don't want to hear it. This person, you got to give them props, because they're actually doing the work. They're actually figuring it out. They're gaining that insight and gaining that wisdom. And they're going to come back to make amends as well. That's very important. All right, so we got a tarot token here. So we do have the Devil one. The Devil card is a destructive force, or the Devil token. So it's any kind of sort of negativity. It's holding on to anger, holding on to sort of resentment. I see the word pride in my mind. No, I know I said that a couple times the read. Pride and ego got in the way, and this person would not listen to the advice that was given and charged on ahead into exactly what somebody told them they were going to get. And I do feel like they see that now. I do feel like they're able to recognize that pride and ego once it starts popping up and separate themselves from it so that they can hear this advice. They can appreciate these true connections. This is a very important part of their growing process coming into their Emperor energy. Alrighty guys, I hope that you enjoyed that read. If you did, if you found value in it, please hit that like, that subscribe. It helps these messages to get out there. Have a great day, guys.